Hey everyone, this is Brooke and you're listening to the Vintage Gardener Podcast, which is where I give you tips and tricks on gardening, particularly if you're like me and you garden in southern New Jersey, which is Zone 7A. So I just want to take a minute to apologize to everyone for the delay in uploading this podcast. Today's episode is going to be the replay from the live call-in show, which took place on July 23rd, and it was entitled, How is Your 2021 Garden Going Thus Far? I had an extensive backlog of videos for YouTube. For those of you guys who are new to the podcast and even new to YouTube and other places I'll be posting this podcast, I've been installing a 2,100 square foot garden. It's a parterre garden. And so I was filming and doing a lot of planting, but I got behind on editing. So in July, I realized how far I was behind. So I started, uploading videos every day. I'm almost caught up. And basically for the next few weeks, I'll be uploading videos Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to kind of clear out everything else. And I think probably by mid-October, I should be done. I hope. So anyway, now I'm returning to edit this podcast because I know some of the followers have asked me, hey, I missed it. When are you going to upload it? And I do apologize for that. So just for a little bit of background, the call-in show, like I said, is called How is Your 2021 Garden Going Thus Far? That was the topic that I announced in my previous episode, which was my mid-season review, because this has been a particularly difficult growing season, I felt. Number one, countrywide here in the U.S., we've had a heat wave. I can tell you in southern New Jersey, we've had a lot of big storms with tornadoes touching down, and that has caused some devastation. As a matter of fact, the last one, really damaged a chunk of a town called Mullica Hill, and it's brought all kinds of bug issues, pest issues, just because of the weather. I know in some of the southern states, they had to deal with the cicadas because this was a 17-year cycle. All of them came out. We didn't have that in New Jersey. In my opinion, I think it's because we had a pretty cold winter. We had a lot more snow than we typically have, and that tends to kill off a lot of bugs. So we had some cicadas, but not a lot. So I wanted everybody to tell me how they were doing, their trials, their triumphs, any particular issues that you found solutions for, because that's how we all learn as gardeners. So without further ado, the garden party from July 23rd, 2021. This is the July 23rd garden party. The topic is, how is your 2021 garden going thus far? This is part one of the episode. Okay, so what's going on in your garden?
I literally just got back inside from trimming my early blight on my tomatoes. But besides that, I've had more pests this year than ever.
Yeah, are you getting Japanese beetles? Because I'm getting Japanese beetles. It's crazy.
Yes, I actually, because I work from home, I have the luxury of going outside first thing in the morning before work, and I just tap them off into soapy water. Right. Because I did make a homemade Japanese beetle trap that attracted a lot of other bugs that I really didn't care about, and not Japanese beetles. So I was doing that instead, and actually it worked pretty well. And I think their season is almost done, because I didn't see any today and only one or two the last couple of days. And they're only on a couple of the same things they were on last year, so I knew exactly where to look.
What are they on? What plants have you? Oh, by the way, hi. I think it's CNBY4ZRYVHZ8T. These alphanumeric things are killing me. Welcome to the show. So yeah, what were your Japanese beetles on last year?
Same as this year. It's my porcelain vine, and that's the only thing they're on. And I love porcelain vine. It's so pretty. And it has the most beautiful berries, which will be coming up soon. and they love it. But I also had this year banana slugs. I don't know if you saw that picture. And I
I
also
don't.
had these something flies. They go on hibiscus. I posted. Let me look at what it said.
Yeah, no, I actually the Japanese beetles have been on my dahlias, they've been on my zinnias. And before that, I actually had aphids. And the weird thing
Oh,
with the aphids, well, the aphids were on my poppies. Now they still bloomed and everything, but the weirdest thing was that it's just I wasn't this year I haven't seen any ladybugs. I'm not really
I
sure
haven't
what's
either. Now that you say that,
yeah, because I've never seen aphids like this.
huh?
They were crawling. So I I hosed them off my plants, so that was good. But then I was a very bad girl, and I cracked because they didn't have any in um, they didn't have any what was it? It's like they didn't have the neem oil that you mix up. They only had the little tiny spray
Oh,
bottle. Usually they have
oh,
it. So I ended up
yeah.
yeah, I ended up using
The
seven, and I know it.
concentrate.
Yeah, they
Oh,
didn't. Yeah, I used seven, and I know but you know it did take care of. You know what? I waited until evening when there were no bees around, and
hmm.
because I was like, I know I probably shouldn't be spraying this thing everywhere, but it did take care of the aphids, but it just. Oh, okay. So Array says, "Oh, you're in. Oh, hi, Array. Okay, she was listening from her laptop. I couldn't go in. Okay." And hi CNBY4ZRYVHZ81. What's your name? Because I can't. I don't. Supposedly, if you join with your Facebook log, your credentials, it's supposed to put your name up on here. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of curious. What do you think is causing the pest issues this year?
I don't know, but the other thing I looked it up is called hibiscus sawfly,
Hmm.
and they're these little caterpillars that are. I thought honestly, I think I had one before I knew what they were, and I thought it was an inchworm. Like when we were little,
Hmm.
inchworms used to like fly around on these little web strings, and we would
Right.
take them and put them in a jar or whatever. And I was like, oh, what a cute little inchworm. And I may have just, not thought about it, but it has eaten my hibiscus bad. Like some of my leaves look like lace. They're
And
just destroyed.
it's kind of weird because I actually haven't been having too much caterpillar damage this year.
Yeah, it's weird.
Last
And
yeah,
yeah,
last year I did. This year it's really the Japanese beetles. And I know like cuz don't you live in Medford too, don't you?
yeah, I'm almost in Chemung.
Yeah, that's so weird because it's not like we live that far from each other,
Right. Yeah,
but
you would think the same things. I guess it depends on what you're attracting. You have so much more flowers, well, than anybody, including the garden centers. You have so much more flowers than anybody. Um, but I don't have I don't have the amount of flowers you have. So it makes sense that I wouldn't have the same amount of bugs that would damage flowers. I did have these little black, I don't know what they were. Oh, and I did see a couple lanternflies,
Oh my
nymphs.
goodness, the
Yeah,
lantern flies,
yeah.
they're everywhere. I have been going on a killing spree and those suckers jump.
I know. I found that out from a friend. I only killed two nymphs. I thought they were Japanese beetles because I was out doing the beetle thing. And when they got into my soapy water, I was like, oh my God, that's a lanternfly. So they're the only two I saw, and they were nymphs. So I have not seen any more, and I've checked quite a few trees, and I don't see any.
You know what? I've seen some nymphs, but I actually started seeing the actual flies with the wings. So I saw
Oh,
some in my yard and I was stomping. I'm sure somebody driving down 541 thought I
think you're
was
a lunatic.
crazy because I was just kind of like jumping and stomping. And I probably looked like, and my dog was looking at me like I was crazy. He was just like, okay, my
Right.
mom's totally lost her mind now. But yeah, so but this has been just such a weird. Actually, this year and last year I find have been very challenging in terms of the growing season because we've had really our May has been odd because we've had, on one hand, we've gotten really warm day temperatures, but then we've been getting
Yeah,
freezing at night, which
yeah.
which complicates things. And then it's like we got rain, then we got no rain, then we got like a heat wave, and then like I know recently we've gotten a lot of rain. As I just looked at my peonies and I saw that they've got like powdery mildew all over them, and
They're on
it's
my hibiscus too. Powdery
yeah,
mildew.
yeah, it's and then I don't know if it's because of the heat, the rain. I don't know. All I know is that none of the plants, none of the stuff that I grew from seed is adhering to the height restrictions, like the height. And so,
You mean
rather
they're
than
growing taller, or they're not growing as tall as they're supposed to?
no, they're growing so much taller. So
Really?
I tried to layer my beds and now I can't. Some of the plants are completely overshadowed. Like for
Oh
example,
my God.
like my straw flower, I grew straw
Uh huh.
flower. It's 4 feet high.
Wow. I
It's
wonder.
amazing.
Well, we're getting so much the heat. I mean, this. Okay, so there's a couple things. I think last year,
Oh, hold on.
and
Let me say some hi to some people. Hi,
sure.
Jen, and hi. It's Pool Love 78. You guys can call in. Vicky and I are just chatting because nobody's calling in. So
At least we
call
know there's
in.
other people listening,
Yeah.
unlike last time.
Yeah, exactly. So just if you guys want to participate, just hit the call in button, and I'll take you guys too. Because I just don't want to have like dead air time. Because hi, Pool Up 78. I'm trying to look at your profile here. Is that Heather from my job? I can't tell you. I can't tell. And Jen. Oh, okay. So here comes Jen. So hang on for a second. Let me get her on here. Did it go through? Jen?
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Hey,
Oh,
Jen.
hey. This is the first time I'm using this app, so this is
Me
all
too.
kinds of
Well,
foreign.
second.
This is Jen Perez, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so apparently with this whole thing, I can actually have like 8 people on. So hopefully this one, yeah, this can get a little crazy up in here.
Well,
Okay.
I put my name when
Mm-hmm.
I created an account, it asked you what to put your name as, and I did. And for some reason it shows up as this bot number. So I don't know, but
Yeah, no, it's weird.
That's
Yes,
funny.
because I can't tell. Okay, so Jen, how's your growing season going?
um so I just finished filming a video and it's all about like it's things that went wrong.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I
so it's my life. Okay, go ahead.
right. I had so my tomatoes are doing well. I had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of blooms drop off the tomato plants because of the
Mm-hmm.
heat that we've been having, and it was this weird pattern of like heat, and rain, and then
Hmm.
my
Right.
watermelon is doing great. I lost my Brussels sprouts to all kinds of critters and pests that were. I started in the spring instead of starting like for a fall crop, and so I ended up with all the pest pressure and a groundhog that I have been coexisting with
Mm-hmm.
peacefully
Yes.
for a couple of years just decimated my edamame and
Oh,
bush beans like completely. I had to pull them, like they're done.
Mm.
wow. Because a groundhog got me this year for the first time ever. And
Really?
Horrible.
well, I assume it was the groundhog because
Mm-hmm.
I saw a groundhog in my yard the two
Mm-hmm.
days, like 2 days, and then the next day everything was gone. But I do have a raised garden enclosure that is 8 feet high,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't dig under it. So the only way he would have gotten in is climb, which from what I understand in my gardening group, they climb.
They do.
So I'm going to assume it was because it was very selective. It ate all of my parsley, my kale, my eggplant, my celery, and my cucumbers, like all leafy
Oh
green.
my
But it
goodness.
didn't eat any
Wow.
tomatoes. It didn't eat all of the cucumbers, and it didn't eat my peppers at all, or thyme, or any of my other herbs.
You know
And
what
I,
the
I'm
So
not
most
I'm
difficult?
not surprised about the herbs though, because a lot of animals don't like the way they taste. I'm
right,
wondering with the tomatoes because tomatoes are part of the nightshade family. Have you actually smelled the like tomato leaves? Like if you take the
Yes,
leaf and
they're
like
It's
break
a
them,
horrible.
very
it
distinct
They're
smell.
horrible.
it is, and I'm kind of wondering,
That's
is that why
why they don't
they?
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yep.
possums ate on mine last year. I had them in pots on my back patio.
Oh, that I could have that too. I
Yeah.
mean, I installed cameras out back,
And
and
possums
I
are more likely to climb that high than
yeah,
groundhogs,
that's
I think.
true.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh,
like the
okay.
one and only time, too. It hasn't, well, knock on wood, it hasn't happened again. But within the same couple weeks, I saw the groundhog out back with babies. And that made me think, all right, how mad can I
Oh,
be? She was
right.
probably trying to feed these babies. So it could be. But I've also found on the cameras I didn't even know, a skunk, um, opossums, raccoons, rabbits, which I can't even. I've been here 20 years. One time I saw a bunny. I've
Whoa, whoa,
never
whoa,
seen one
whoa,
again. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa, there's rabbits in my yard.
wait, hold up for a second. How
Yeah,
on earth do you live that close to Shamong and you're telling me you have never seen rabbits? Because in Shamong, we were
never.
like, that is amazing. That is
I know.
absolutely amazing to me
I know.
because Shamong was like overrun with
The
rabbits.
only, really, the
Oh, it
only thing
was.
I can gather is that there's so many deer because the deer are like rampant, which is why I have the 8 foot enclosed bed.
Hmm.
Um, that's the only thing I can think of. Or because I live very close to a soccer field and baseball field, I back up to the JCC camp.
Okay.
So my backyard is a huge open field. So there's hawks, probably eagles, things that would
Oh,
probably eat
wow.
rabbits. So that could be why there are either that or they just don't. I don't know. I've always had cats up until last year too.
Mm.
So maybe because of the cats, I don't. And there's a feral colony in my development somewhere of cats, so it could be that too. I don't know.
You
I
don't
couldn't
have
believe
snakes,
it.
you don't have snakes, do you?
I do. Yep.
You do. Wait, hold on for a second.
Yep.
You have a colony of feral cats and you have snakes.
Well, I just started seeing snakes last year, and I believe it's because I put in that waterfall.
Mm.
And I've only seen
Okay.
a couple. It's not like I see them every day. I mean, I've
Uh,
seen less than a dozen in the past 2 years, and that was the first time I ever saw one was last year.
oh no. See, I've been having a snake issue in my basement. And speaking of snakes,
Oh, in the house. I
I
have one in my basement once, and it was a baby, and that was plenty. I mean, I'm not afraid, but I would prefer they not inhabit my
Oh no,
home.
no, no. Oh no, no. It was 3 feet. No, no, no. Mine are because okay. So what I learned, I've been having to learn all about snakes because I had some. So
Oh my
apparently,
god.
the last owner, they had snakes in their basement. They didn't do anything because it was eating the mice. But when they went to put the house on the market, they
Oh,
cleaned all the snake skins, but they did not put it on the seller's disclosures that they had an issue. I found this out earlier this year when I had the guy come to do my water
oh, yep,
filtration unit, and he was
yep.
like, "Oh yeah, all the snake skins are gone." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! What do
Oh
you
my.
mean?" And so then he tells me this whole thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not bothered by snakes." But what happens is when
What do you
snakes
mean you're not bothered by snakes?
I'm not really bothered either, but I don't want them in my house.
No, no, no. That's no, no. I'm bothered. No, the guy was telling me because I was telling him, "Oh, there's snakes down here. Be careful." He's not bothered by them, but the problem with snakes is that when they get into your house, especially if they shed skin, they release pheromones, and so the pheromones mark your house as safe because
Oh
it's a
my
because when
god.
snakes are shedding, they're vulnerable. So the thing is, there's been years of these snakes shedding their skins, like leaving pheromones all over the place. So like my like my basement is like the snake hut. So
The hot
Oh
spot.
shit.
exactly. So
Oh my
anyway, there was
god.
this. So they've been catching them, and recently, a couple months ago, they stopped. It was like weeks on end. They stopped getting it. We did see some holes. We were stuffing them with brass, like the
The Brillo or whatever.
yeah, exactly. And
Steel
I have
wool, yeah.
exactly, and I got to get the guy to come out to the mason to come out and patch the holes. Well, the other day, I'm like walking through the backyard, almost stepped on it. It was a black
Oh.
snake. It was 3 feet long and it was headed for my house. And I was like, you know what? I don't. I know they serve a purpose. I was like, but I got to get a handle on this because, you know, like, mind you, I've already had to deal with raccoons in my attic. So I finally
Oh,
got dealt with that issue and finally had that taken care of. And so I went and got a
wow.
shovel and I hit it and you know, black snakes actually strike. You know, they're not like garters where they run, like they actually strike. And so I ended up getting it on the asphalt, and I just kept hitting it until I actually like crushed its head, and then I had to throw its carcass in the woods, and I felt bad, but on the other hand,
It was going to be going to your house.
exactly, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know, I couldn't deal with it, so I unfortunately had to kill the snake, and I feel
I
like a really
know.
horrible human being, but
Look, I had to kill slugs the other day, and someone said pour salt on it, and I did it, and I was like, oh, that was horrifying. Like,
whoa, oh,
that's
wait,
torturous.
what happens? I've never seen it. I've never done it before. What happens?
Oh, it's not fun. It literally disintegrated it into nothing.
Oh,
Like, but
really?
it
Oh my
like
gosh.
it they
Have you ever
just
tried a beer trap?
squirm. Have I ever what?
Have you ever tried a beer trap?
I have not, because this was my first time. First of all, I've had them before. I didn't know they ate stuff. I just thought, I don't know what I
Yeah.
thought. I just never thought about it. And then someone said pour salt. I was like, well, that's the easiest thing to do. So I went out, and three of the four that I found were gone. So I was like, all right, well, there's just one. I'll just kill that one. And when I saw it like squirm like it did, which I should have known that's what it was going to do, I vaguely remember people doing that when I was a kid. It was just the most torturous thing I've ever seen. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, the
So,
I
beer
mean,
trap is a little bit more like laissez-faire. Like it's just
yeah,
you put like what I did was I cut the bottom half of a plastic juice bottle, like a little clear one,
yeah,
and I
yep,
did put it in the ground,
uh
like
huh,
level with the soil, and then you fill it with
mm-hmm,
beer, and they just crawl in the middle of the night, and so
mm,
you're not even awake, and it's working for you, and all you have to
right,
do is come the next day and take them out
and
and
get rid
dump
of
them
it.
and fill it back up. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do that next time because this was just, I just felt like, oh my God, I'm like a horrible human being. But
it's horrible feeling. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'll tell you this though, with the snakes, someone told me that they really hate the smell of mothballs. So I sprinkled some outside only because I had a guest that was
mhm.
sitting on a bench, and it was it was in a bush or tree area level with his eyes, and he'd like lost his mind, and I felt really bad. So I did throw some.
Guys, I just realized I totally messed up. There was a Clear View wholesale nursery shopping day for the members of my one of the horticultural societies. Like, you get to shop a wholesale nursery with wholesale prices. I can't, and it was today. I can't believe I missed that.
Can't
I know. But
believe that either. I would have went
I
with you.
know. I can't believe I did this. So let me tell you guys some, because I know there's some things coming up. Um, there is, let's see, with the Hardy Plant Society, I know that there is a pop up event on August 5th. It's Bell's Flower Farm Day Trip. Let's see. And then there's actually a summer trip to New York. And then there's this one thing they're having at it's Peach Brook Farms, and they're actually having vendors. And I don't think that's limited to guests. So let me get the date for you guys, because if other people can come to that, that would be
Where is
really.
that?
It's at Peach Brook Farm. Do you
Which
guys
is
know where that
that?
is?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
It's in Pennsylvania. It's in Jenkintown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's the PHS Meadowbrook Farm. Hang on, where's this?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hmm,
Yes.
I've
So
heard of
actually,
that.
yes, as a matter of fact, the video I posted today on YouTube, that's where I went. But it's supposed to be a bunch of vendors like Triple Oaks Nursery, and did I? Oh, hopefully we didn't miss it. I'll find it in a second. Okay. Oh, you know what? Actually, somebody sent me an email earlier today because they couldn't make it, but they did want to say it was okay if I read what they told me was going on in their garden. So let me find Inez's email and let's see.
So I don't know if you heard me say that I heard that snakes are very not liking to mothballs. So you could try that for your snakes.
You know what? I got snake away and I need to get some more. Um, Yeah, because that keeps them. I don't know what it's in it, but you just put like a perimeter of it. It's just that they if you go into Lowe's, they give you these really small bags, and I don't understand
Oh,
that. Like you need to make like a 15-pound bag of snake away. I mean,
well,
it's
why? When they could
really.
charge you for 1,000,000 bags.
I guess that's true. Okay, so let's see. Inez says that her garden is okay. She said no zucchini yet. She said the rabbits ate the early flowers. And she said that, I guess with the zucchinis, only male flowers so far. She said she's already picked potatoes, blackberries, peppers, turnips, and she said, and the tomatoes just started to ripen. Let's see. Oh, she said the Herb Society September meeting will be at Triple Oaks Farm, excuse me, Triple Oaks Nursery in Franklinville. And the topic will be on what to do in the fall to attract butterflies in the spring.
Oh,
So, and the Herb
that's exciting.
Society, yeah, the Herb Society meetings at Triple Oak are open to the public. You don't have to be a member for that
Hmm.
sort of thing. So, that's yeah. Hey guys, that's the end of part 1. I'll be releasing the entire episode over 4 parts because I don't want to unduly tax your attention. So I will be posting the next segment over the next week, and thank you guys so much for listening.